Tattoo Live. This is Pastor Ings. We are live now, and I'm going to be sending out some notifications. Welcome to Tattoo. Tattoo stands for Tough Answers, Tough Topics Often Overlooked. And we got some things we want to talk about tonight. Some things we shared last week, and we'd like to pick up on some of those things that we shared.
Love is what I ask for. Love is what I need.
We're going to send out some notifications so people can see that we are in fact live. We're testing out some new gear here. See how well this all works out for us. If I talk about love. And we're always talking about love.
Check this. Love never fails. Love never dies. Love is everlasting. When I look deep into your eyes. Love is what I ask for. Love is what I need. Love is what I find when I'm down on my knees.
I see now. If I talk about love. If I talk about love. And we want you all to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If I talk about love.
Yeah, check this. Love never fails. Love never dies. Love is everlasting. When I look deep into your eyes. Love is what I ask for. Love is what I need. Love is what I find when I'm down on my knees. Love.
We are live. Welcome to Tattoo. Bear with me, I'm always sending out notifications. I shared before when we were doing this that I could use a media team, and I would hire someone who is technically savvy and who knows their way around iRig gear and PA systems and applications such as Switcher Studio and Familiar. They know their way around an iMac Pro and a iPad Pro, preferably even if you had your own to integrate with systems that are here. That would be really cool. We're always talking about love, right? Everything we do is motivated by love because we want people to be better. We want people to feel better about themselves and to produce their best selves. So some of that is going to reflect in some of our teaching tonight, which is self-actualization. I've been talking about that a little bit in and out, so we want to continue that discussion. Tattoo Live now. Tattoo is live now. Now tell people to jump on. If I talk about love, yeah. That's my niece singing. She has a pretty voice.
Love never dies. Love is everlasting. When I look deep into your eyes.
We have a series of music on our Bandcamp page. It's davidings.bandcamp.com, and a lot of music that I'm working with. New songs, just projects. There's one project called Political Junkie I'm working with. I'll share some of that as well. Let me send out this distribution. If I talk about love, yeah. If I talk about love,
Yeah, check this. Love never fails. Love never dies. Love is everlasting. When I look deep into your eyes, love is what I ask for. Love is
and we're
what
going
I
to get
need.
started in a moment.
Love is what I find when I'm down on
Give a
my
little volume
knees.
on that.
Love.
Pretty cool, huh? So just hang in there while I send out our distribution. If I talk about love, everything we do is motivated by love. There's no hate integrated with our teaching,
Yeah.
with the things that we share.
Love never fails. Love never dies. Love is everlasting. When I look deep into your eyes, love is what I ask for. Love is what I need. Love is what I find when I'm down on my knees. Love.
If I talk about love, the song says, if I talk about love, would you listen to me? You know, some people don't want to hear anything about the topic, or any topic that's motivated by LOVE. If I talk about love,
Yeah, check this. Love never fails. Love never dies. Love is everlasting. When I look deep into your eyes, love is what I
we're going to get
ask.
started in a moment.
Love is what I need. Love is what I find when I'm down on my knees. Love.
If I talk about love, yeah, yeah. I love that song. Got it on repeat.
If I talk about love, if I talk about love, would you listen to me?
If I talk about love,
If I talk about love, would you listen to me? If I talk about love, if I talk about love,
Yeah, check this. Love never fails. Love never dies. Love is everlasting. When I look deep into your eyes, love is what I ask for. Love is what I need. Love is what I find when I'm down on my knees. Love.
and when you come in, I ask if you would give me some thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
if I talk about love, would you listen to me?
We'll get started in a moment. If I talk about love, okay, that's it.
Listen to me. If I talk about love,
Okay, I'm sending that out now.
Yeah, check this. Love never fails. Love never dies. Love is everlasting. When I look deep into your eyes, love is what I ask for. Love is what I need. Love is what I find when I'm down on my knees. Love.
If I talk about love, ooh. Okay, we sent that out. So one other thing I want to do, I want to let our user community on Facebook know that we are live as well. We do have a Facebook page. It's MCM Tattoo on Facebook. If I talk about love, would you listen to me? Or would you just turn away?
Yeah,
Tattoo
yeah. Check this.
is
Love never fails.
live now.
Love never dies. Love is everlasting. When I look deep into your
And I
eyes,
say jump,
love is what I ask for. Love is what I need.
jump on.
Love is what I
And I put the
find
link in
when
here.
I'm down on my knees. Love.
If I talk about love, okay, we published that. All right, good enough. So all I ask is when you do come in, if you could share, well, you're on Facebook, yes, you can share on any platform. Also, if you would be so kind as to share, as to subscribe, I need you to subscribe to our YouTube
Love never
channel.
fails. Love never dies.
And
Love
so
is
if you're in YouTube,
Look
you
deep
see
into
a
your eyes.
subscribe
Love is what I ask
button.
for.
Click on that.
Love is what I need.
Also,
Love is
there's a
what I
thumbs up
find
and a thumbs down. I
when
want you
I'm
to click
down
on the
my
thumbs up
knees.
and give me some comments as it relates to some of the things we want to talk about tonight. Okay? Last week we talked about, let me see here. We talked about the 7 mistakes that people make that will destroy the bridge to access. And what that meant was there were 7 things. If you remember, I'll just give you a little brief review.
Love never fails. Love never dies.
We never stop this teaching.
Love
We're
is
going to continue to
everlasting.
grow upon it.
Deep into your
7
eyes.
mistakes that can destroy
Love
the
is
bridge
what
to
I ask
access.
for. Love
And
is what
the
I
bridge
need.
to access is
Love is
something
what I
like
find
this.
when I'm
It is
down
the
on my
goal,
knees.
the goal at the end of your journey. And we have several journeys in life. And what access means access to me, access to resources, access to a building, right? It could mean that it's as well. It could mean, hold on for a minute. Make sure that doesn't happen. Good. Access to whatever it is you're trying to achieve. Access to your career, access online, and it becomes the gold. If you see there, that's like a pot of gold I drew there, and there's the bridge, and across that bridge, you're building. Like it says here, access allows you to build credibility, loyalty, and competency. So you usually don't have an opportunity to build either one of those unless someone gives you a job. You know how frustrating it is when you're trying to work and you know you're good for the job, you know you can do it, but no one won't hire you for some technicality, some reason. They feel like, I don't know, a technicality came up, maybe because, they found out you were incarcerated once, and it has nothing to do with, that could have been years ago, right? It could have been you were younger, you were just caught up in a moment, and you're not a criminal, and, that's not who you are. But, you just got caught up in a moment, and you've served your time. You were on parole for a period of time. You served that, all of that's over with. But yet this thing is dangling over my head, and it's preventing me from being able to do. But when the opportunity happens, so let's talk about that part. All right, so that's the obvious. We understand there's certain impediments because of those things, but we can overcome them, and many do overcome them. Sometimes it takes a fight, to get your point across, but either way, it is achievable. You can overcome it, all right? Especially if you talk to the right people, because you need encouragement to overcome. You can't just settle for, oh, that's just the way it's going to be. No, that's not how it's going to be. And if you talk to people who feel that way, say, oh, man, they're never going to hire you because of this, that, and the other thing, you might as well just, sell marijuana, do something illegal to keep the funds coming your way for the rest of your life. That's not true. That's a lie. You need to talk to the right people to help encourage you and to push you forward and to keep shining a light on the path to success. All right. So hear that. But the opposite side of this, again, when you have gained access, These are some of the things you have the opportunity to prove. Credibility, loyalty, competency. I can do the job. You might be the best person for the job, and you won't realize it unless you hire me. I might be the best person for you. You may not realize it unless you date me and let me take you out on a date. If you're trying to, talk to a girl or other way around, I may be the best person for you. The female may have children, and she's in a situation where, she's doing good. She got her place, but that you can complement that, right? You may have kids also, and you're a single parent, and you got a nice job, and you're able to do well-to-do. Well-to-do means, you got a little something stashed away, some money, to sustain yourself and to take care of you and people that you love. But she would never know it unless you allow me into your life and grant me access. So the access is the gold. That's the gold, man. So and I just use that in a relationship, but there's many, many other ways it can be identified. Okay? So we have credibility, loyalty. Okay, so watch this. So remember I said the seven mistakes. Mistakes are the things that you do that mess all of that up, and you don't even realize it. It becomes very frustrating when you don't realize it, because what happens is people will diss you, disown you, or dismiss you. That's what it means to be dissed. And sometimes you don't know what happened. We were fine. All of a sudden, you won't answer my calls anymore. You won't talk to me anymore. What happened? Well, I'm going to tell you what happened. 7 mistakes. And again, access allows you to build credibility, loyalty, and competency. It's the goal. But the mistakes you make, there's 7 mistakes that I list here that will destroy all of that and destroy that bridge where you no longer are in a position to prove your credibility. You're no longer in a position to prove your competency. This is good. It's like having a job. As long as you're on that job, there's always an opportunity to prove that I was the right person to be hired. You did the right thing by hiring me. Let me send one more notification. Well, actually, I was just going to share this on my personal timeline on Facebook. Y'all hang in there with me. Sorry about that. It's one more thing I wanted to do. And I wanted to paste, right. Tattoo, live now. So I want a lot of people to know about it. I want you to know about it. Tattoo live now. Okay, so I'll just post that. Fair enough. Back to where we were. Okay, so access can mean many, many different things. All right. It is the goal. It could be a person, a place, or a thing. And when you have access, we want to value that, treasure it. It's a good thing. If you have a job and they gave you access to the building, you have your badge, maybe there's a security clearance required, and you were afforded a badge, you can swipe your badge and go in. That's a good thing. Now that you're there, obviously the criterion for being in there was based upon risk factors. Somebody comes in here, they could destroy our stuff. They could break things. They could, bring the company down or mess with our reputation. The company may have a good reputation with the community. What they produce, it's pretty much bulletproof. It's consistent. And it works very, very well. And they don't want anybody to mess that up because they had a bad day. So they're very careful about who they allow in. But if they let you in there, all right, now you have an opportunity to do one of the 2 things. To prove that you belong, that you're the person to uphold who's competent to uphold those values that you built the company, or I prove that I'm the person that you should have never let in here. Because when I have a bad day, I'm just going to break stuff and pull the plugs on the computer. So, people trying to access their data or something like that, they can't do it. Whether it's a cell phone app or something, associated with, the company, they couldn't trust you. Should have never been in there. All right. You understand all of that. Okay, so now there are 7 things that have messed that up, and you won't even know you did it. Sometimes you do know you did it, but it's more often people are, you become frustrated along the journey because you see things change and you don't know why. Number 1 is disrespect. Now, I characterize these activities as seeds. Seeds grow. Seeds are small. Seeds are planted. Seeds get watered, and they grow, and they become whatever it is you dished out in the first place. So it's a progress. Usually it may not be one-shot deal. So disrespect, it is a seed for distrust, disconnect. It redefines character, perceive. I perceived that you were a great person, but when you disrespected me and called me out of my name or said something, immediately the character I thought about you, it starts to change. I don't think I can trust you anymore. Or I don't want you to hang around if you're going to disrespect me. We don't want to invite that in our lives. Nobody wants that. Okay? The next one is disagreement. It's a seed for loss and dislike, as agreement is a seed for favor. You just keep disagreeing with me. We're going to be disconnected at one point. All right? And again, you can have a mind of your own. It doesn't mean you can't be a person of you don't have to be a yes person, a yes man. Just agree with everything I'm saying. I'm not, we're not advocating for that. But in the broad scheme of things, a better example is disagreeing with your boss all the time. He said we want to paint the walls green, and he knows why he wants to do it. And no, I don't think we should do it. I think that's stupid. We shouldn't do that. Okay. All right. So then the next board meeting, I think we should do, I don't know. He's giving ideas, and maybe his ideas are based upon, the trajectory of the company. You don't know. You don't know everything, but you always got something to say. Wisdom teaches us that, even if you don't agree with, as long as it's not jeopardizing your well-being, it's not your company, and it's not going to mess with your paycheck, you can leave it alone. Choose your battles, people say. But if you just like being disagreeable, what it does, it's a seed for loss. People dislike you, and you'll lose favor. We talk a whole lot about that. Divisiveness is a seed for dismissal and embarrassment. You can disagree, but the divisiveness is when you're dividing. You're just doing it. What you say and what you do is designed to bring division. You're going to get let go. Somebody's going to fire you. Or in a relationship, somebody's going to quit you. Your girlfriend, listen, you're just, you got my trying to get my family to be against me and my friends. You calling people up and saying she ain't all of that and this, that, and just saying stuff. That's divisiveness. You're going to get dropped for that. And you're going to get told off. That's the embarrassment part. Disappointment. It's a seed for displacement and discredit. And we talked about that last week. Disappointment, you showed up for the job late. Okay. Everybody can forgive the first time around. And then the second time around, he gave you an assignment, and it was all in your hands to do, and you failed to pull through. And so we're like, okay, we could try to get over it. People make mistakes, right? Nobody's perfect. But, then here's another opportunity. Maybe it's something else, and put it in your hands. And every time someone gives you an assignment, it becomes a test of your loyalty, a test of your competency, first and foremost. Can you even do it? just because I gave you the assignment doesn't mean you could do it. Sometimes people perceive greatness in you, and they realize it was a stretch to give you that assignment. They gave it to you anyway because favor. You were there, you're in the right place at the right time, and they needed somebody who. And just because you're always on time, and you're agreeable, right? You're a respectable person, and there was an opportunity. We needed somebody to head up this part of the department. And we know you never did anything like that before, but we think it was simple enough that it would be an opportunity for you to grow your experience that way. So they gave you the position. So you didn't show up for it. That's disappointment. And so if you keep on doing that, you keep disappointing people. That means, remember, this is not hate. Remember at the beginning of all of this, we said the motivation of this teaching and understanding is love. Well, nobody hates you. So you think everyone hates you? No. But these are some of the things that you do. It's what you do. You keep disappointing people. It's going to inherently bring a distance. It's a seed for displacement and discredit. You're not going to get credit for some things. Because you weren't there. You say, well, I was the person that did so and such. Well, yeah, true. Discredit happened because you didn't show up. You weren't there. Out of sight, out of mind. So it brings that, be it right or wrong. And displacement, obviously, you can be placed somewhere else where maybe you really should be in that department. Maybe that position that was offered to you is really where you should be. But we put you somewhere else because disappointment. It's a bad thing, man. It keeps happening. Disinterest is a seed for separation, misunderstanding, and disconnect. The misunderstanding part is that you keep showing disinterest every time, we say, hey, we're going to go out, we're going to do this or what have you. And you sat there with your mouth poked out or maybe you had a lot going on in your mind, but you showed disinterest. And if you keep doing that, I'm going to misunderstand you. I'm going to assume you don't want to have anything to do with us or this or that or wherever we're doing. And I'm going to progressively, make decisions based upon that misunderstanding. It destroys the bridge to access where the gold is. All right. This is one of those things, disinterest. That's why you got to show interest. When they say show of hands, who wants to do, and you didn't raise your hand. I don't know why you didn't raise your hand, but it's like, okay, all right. You're entitled to your own opinion and your own destiny and all of that. But if you keep that up, people are going to distance themselves. They're going to misunderstand your intentions. Maybe deep down in your heart, you felt like, yeah, I really wanted to be a part of that. But, maybe in your mind, I don't know, maybe you didn't want to work with a certain person, which is the reason why you didn't raise your hand. But deep down in your heart, you really want to do that. Right? You really want to go up on the elevator. You really want to go up to the next floor. But you just didn't want to get on with the people that you saw on the elevator. But deep down in your heart, you're tired of this floor. I really want to go up. Well, the very fact that you didn't get on the elevator, my understanding is that you don't want to go up. See how that could be? See that analogy I use? Full of analogies. Disruption. It's a seed for dismissal and rebuke. You come in there making a lot of noise. I often talk to the students. You come in the classroom, sit down and get with the program. But if you come in, you're talking, and you've got your cell phone is not on mute if you're even allowed to have one, making a lot of noise, and that's disruption. And so over time, you keep doing that, you're going to lose access to the things. You can lose access to the classroom. What's in the classroom? Computers, knowledge, learning, education. They're going to make you get out. They're going to make you get out because you're disruptive. And then if you don't understand this, and when it's time to assign you to a class, they might put you in another class. You say, I don't understand why, or maybe you try to make it racial. And perhaps in some instances it could be, but disruption is neither black or white. If you're disruptive, people are going to dismiss you because, they're trying to teach a class and you come in here with all your nonsense. They're going to put you in another class, and you're going to be upset. You're going to be trying to figure out, why can't I go in that class? Why is it so? Why is it so? Why? Well, because of these things. You destroy the bridge to access in that way. All right? Deception. Stop lying. Lying is a seed for distrust. And maybe you deceived for a period of time, when people find out what you're saying or what you produce is not true. It's going to make it so that nobody trusts anything that comes out of your mouth. It's sort of like our president. He's a premier example in the world, in all honesty, because people lie across. Politicians lie. We get that. But this man, I mentioned him in particularly because he has built a whole career of deception. Of all the money that he's has and had, it was all, built upon false principles, lying and cheating and manipulating. And people do that all the time. Some people have generated a lot of funds on deception. Right? So, it's a seed for distrust. So, this particular individual I talk about has deceived the nation so much, and very pivotal things. When it's time for you to give your definition as to this or that or the other thing, you lie so much. Where now, no matter what you say, if there be a moment you're telling the truth, nobody wants to believe. It's like the boy that cried wolf. Y'all know that story. It's an old adage, old story, analogy, meaning that you keep. One day you came out and said, "Oh, it's a wolf! It's a wolf! A wolf is coming, y'all! Wolf's coming to get me! Help! Help!" So everybody comes out. "Oh, what's going on?" Everybody comes to your attention. Say, I was joking. Say, "Man, stop that!" So everybody goes in the house. Then the next day, or sometime later, you come out in the streets. "Oh, it's a wolf! It's a wolf out here! Oh!" You get everyone all riled up. Everyone comes out, come to your aid. "Oh, you're okay? What's going on? We got you. We got you covered." I was just joking. And sometime later on, you do it again. "Oh, it's a wolf!" And maybe I'll use 3 times. People say 3 is a charm. And the 3rd time, people come to you. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. 3rd time around, 3 is a charm. So you come out, and here's the 3rd time around. "Oh, it's a wolf!" And nobody comes out. And actually, there was a wolf out. And so now he's chewing at your leg, and you're in danger. He's tearing your limbs off. Sorry for the graphic description there, but you're actually being attacked by a wolf at this time, and you're crying in the streets. "Oh, help! Help! Somebody help!" Nobody won't come. Now you're telling the truth, but through your deception, it is a seed for distrust. Now, no matter what you say, that could be a bad place to be in. Again, it destroys your ability. Now you put yourself in a position where now you can't even build credibility. You can't build competency or loyalty. You've outed yourself by telling all those lies. And so now you want to turn a new leaf in the midst of all of that. And sometimes you've destroyed that opportunity to do it. Okay? So you understand that. That's just some of the things I wanted to share with you tonight. In our political junkie campaign, we have, let me see if I can share some of that with you. Let me go to, this was on our David Ings Bandcamp. Let me see if I find Political Junkie. And it's a song called Campaign Trail. And it was kind of a play on what happens during elections. And the blue and the red, the donkey and the elephant are the animals of choice to depict these political parties. I don't know who chose them. The donkey is the blue for the Democrat, and the elephant is characteristic of the Republican Party. So you got the red, you got the blue. So this song, when I mentioned Blue Rabbit, or actually Campaign Trail, let me play that one first. See if you got this. Check this out.
Political jockey. Political jockey. Political jockey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm tired of what you say. Spend every day wasting all my time listening to you say
You can make it great again.
America, you can make it great again. Who told you you can make it great again? I remember when you lied and you probably do it again. You can make it great again.
I wrote this
Make it great again.
in
Got all
2016.
the reasons why. Everybody talking about all you gotta do is lie to be a POTUS.
I just noticed
You might just
get voted in.
but you can make it great again. You don't even have a heart for what the people need. Tell me where you're gonna start. You lie, you lie, you lie, you lie to get it.
So forget it, cause I know you ain't with it.
Appearing on my TV screen, that every word coming from your mouth is exactly what you mean. You can make it great again. I doubt it. You can make it great
We had
again.
fun with this.
Who told you you can make it great
This is
again?
our,
You lie, you lie, you lie to get it. So
This is our
forget it, 'cause I know
Bandcamp
you
page,
ain't with
David
You can make it great again.
Ings.bandcamp.com,
Really?
and there's so many releases here.
Political junkie. That's real.
These are
Ha, check it.
singles and albums that I
Stand on the
released.
stage, pretending like you're brave. Imagine really mad at 'cause
Some
we
of
know
these
you're
are
afraid.
on
We know.
iTunes.
Don't forget
These
you
two
can pay just for
are.
what
These
the
three
people
are.
pay. They lobby and they lobby. They lobby super PACs, super
And this
PACs,
is the
and they
Political
lobby.
Junkie.
Super PACs in my backpack. Did you smoke that on your way back?
So we got Blue Rabbit. You're listening to Campaign Trail right now.
America, you can make it great again. Who told you you can make it great again? I remember when you lied and you probably do it again. You lie, you lie, you lie, you lie to get it.
So forget it, 'cause I know
you
you
ain't with it. Appearing on my TV screen,
Like every word coming from your mouth is exactly what you mean.
but you can make it great again. You lying, you can make it great
Again,
I
when
doubt
you
it.
come in,
America.
when you view this, I'm asking you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So every time Tattoo goes live, you will get a notification. You should get a notification that we are live.
But no one could believe them, cause they're the reason that we're in this mess. Geopolitical, economic inequality.
I like
You
that.
say,
Geopolitical.
economic inequality.
It's not the odyssey that you promised me.
That we will see as the nation, God's creation.
So
the way it ought to
we it was one of the best ways I could respond in 2016 to respond to the political climate, because I was paying a lot of attention to. That's why I call it Political Junkie. Not everybody is connected.
Political junkie.
Not everybody's
real.
connected to MSNBC, CNN, and all these other news outlets, Roland Martin, and other news outlets that are giving you blow by blow of what politicians are doing and how it is impacting our lives individually. Sometimes people don't understand the impact. There are decisions that are being made that can impact your taxes, your money, your resources, your freedoms, can impact your liberties. You know, these are things that we enjoy in a democracy, in a republic, that we can often overlook. Tattoo, right? Tough answers, tough topics. We can often overlook that and take for granted that these freedoms that we have are predicated upon our Constitution. All right? Because if you look at other nations, they don't have, if they're not a democracy, they don't have the freedoms that we have today. the capitalist society that we live in is designed such that, that's why many want to come to America, because they can own their own rights, own their own money, own their own business. We're in communist societies in nations like China and what have you, and I believe Russia and some others. And a communist, they own everything. You don't get to be an entrepreneur and own, royalties and build your business that way. They depict what work you're going to do, how much money you're going to get, which is minimal, and there's pretty much a one flat rate that everybody will make. There's no building wealth that way, right? To keep everyone humble, so everybody lives pretty much. If it's a hut, this is my best explanation of capitalist. So just not communist. It's Pastor Dave's version right now. It's broader than this, but ideally it keeps everyone at the same level. There's no room for growth. There's no incentive to grow. There's really no incentive to work harder, to work long out. There's no incentive for that because there's no promotion coming. There's no more money coming. Not in communist society. Right? So that's how they live. You could have all the degrees and have all the experience you want, but you're not going to make any more money, and you're not going to be able to open up your own practice. You'd have to come to America for that. See, that's one of the beauties of, we have this democracy where we the people decide who helps govern all of these things. But when that's being jeopardized, sometimes we don't realize it, that some politicians are not, especially today, do not well-wishers, especially if they're millionaires. And this is how it happens. When you have millionaires and billionaires, when I have all my billions and I have all my million, my only interest is to retain my money and to retain power over you, because you are helping me make that money, because you're a factory worker. And what you do is help keep my business afloat. I'm not sharing my millions and billions with you, and neither should I have to. It's my business. I built it. I make all of this money. I have the best health care. I have the best living conditions. I live off on a hill somewhere. So I don't care anything about what's happening in the streets, the inequality and the disparities of the average working individual. Those are the type of people that you don't want in office. But right now, there's a lot of them. Our government is filled with that. So, which is why, the political junkie was the reason why I came up with that title. Is because it was my best way to respond to because I'm a musician and an author and all of these things, I do in ministry. But this part for the community, I believe my best expression towards some of those things, I could put it in music. So one of the other songs we did this one recently. So you take the L, and many of you know what that means. Let me play a little bit of that. You take the L, I'll take the win. Let's see here. Check out this. I'm going to end. We'll be done here in a moment.
Thinking about the master's plan, thinking about how it was not in your hands to choose who would go and who would stay. It was in the master's plan, but you.
So this is talking about the fate
You decided to
of
make
these
up your own
political
mind, contrary
opponents.
to the
Who was
reasons
going
of
to
this
win, who
rhyme.
was going to
You
lose.
couldn't resist the urge to be
I
blind.
believe that
you actually
the right
were blind,
handwriting was
not
on the wall.
understanding how it is that you would take the L and I would take the win. You would take
And
the
the L
L
is
and I would
the
take the win.
loser.
You would take the L and I would take the win. So wait a minute.
And it's red
Let me
for the
begin.
Republican Party.
470
See how
years
there's a
ago,
play
our
on that?
fathers fought for this continent, a new nation conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Listen, something like that. It is a fact, however, that we are
Then-
all God's children, made in the image and likeness of Him.
I'll show you one other thing,
Amen and amen.
and
But
we'll be done.
you take the L and I take the win. You would take the L and I take the win. Let me say it again.
You take the L
and I take the win. So
I take
let
the win.
games begin. I win, you lose. I win, you lose. I win, you lose. Oh, win. You take the L and I win. Oh, win.
So if you look at our website for Voted for Change, we're still promoting this activity. The T-shirts that are associated with this, I want you to
You take the L and I to choose who would go and who would
I want
stay.
you to be able to get involved in that.
You
I want you to get a T-shirt.
decided to make a
So if you go to the website,
contrary to the reasons of this rhyme, you couldn't resist
some educational thing. I'm actually going to update this with some information, and so because we've already voted. Now,
You would take the
and
L
the V, obviously, we have the
and I would
definition. We
take
kind of
the
broke it
L,
out
I
into an
would take the
acronym.
win. Let me say it again. You would take the
But
L
this,
and I would take
we
the win.
continue to be educated
Let me
and
begin.
informed, like some of the things I shared with you.
Fourscore and 7
And
years
that's
ago,
what this
our
website is going to do. It helps the community, a one-stop shop
conceived in
to
liberty
kind of
and dedicated
build
to the proposition that all
sort of
men are created equal.
a grander understanding as to why it is we have voted and will vote.
God's children.
If you go to our store, I want you to, give a donation.
But you,
Give me your shipping information.
I take the win.
And I want to send you this T-shirt. Now, the back stands for Control Homicide and Neighborhood Gun Violence Effectively. So we have that there. And I'm sending out T-shirts as we speak. So what we do, we support education that inspires a community of voters. 'Cause I know sometimes people don't get involved in voting, but I want you to get involved. I want you to be informed in local elections as well. There are people in City Hall that need to be voted out and some that need to be voted in. Some should not continue their term, maybe because of their ideologies and what they are advocating for does not necessarily support what we need any longer. You have some judges that are biased.
Thinking about the
Sometimes they're
masses,
old,
thinking about how
set in their
in
ways,
your hands.
and they're not relevant as it relates to, they're not even perceptive. And what I mean by that is they don't even see, when they see you or I, a people of color, stand before the magistrate, they assume one thing, that I'm only good for being locked up, and you don't know my situation. You assume just because the way I'm dressed or I look, some of the way I dress and the way I look, it's cultural. But because you are so, you live in a whole different world, and you see me different, and so you judge me based upon that. But if we have judges like that, we need to vote them out and get judges in there that have more empathy, that have more, are more perceptive, and that I was just caught up in my zone. Give me another chance, and it'll be proven to be the best thing you could ever did for a person, as opposed to locking them up and putting them in jail for a long period of time, destroying their potential. All right, so here's some of the things. If you go to the website, some of the things we're bringing dreams within reach, promoting positive self-imaging, teaching the art of determination. Look at that. Teaching community and what it means to be community-oriented. Some people are not community-oriented. So this is where you go to the contact page and give me your information. I want to know about you. And you send your donation. If you have any questions, you can call this number as well. All right. Listen, that's Tattoo tonight. Give me some thumbs up. Let me know. Put some comments on the YouTube channel so I know that you saw this and that you enjoyed it. Okay? We got so much more to share. I want you to stay and connected with us. We have a blog. I was going to show you the blog. I'll show you that later. Go to the website. So much to show.
Thinking about the master's plan.
That's why I need a media team. I'm trying to pull this stuff up. Here we go. So if you go to this website, www.momentumcm.org, you'll find a tattoo page. And on the tattoo page, there's a lot of information about tattoos. And the whole portfolio of the ministry is there. I want you to be able to see that. Okay?
Let me say it again. You would take the L and I would take the win. So
Tattoo for Life. We also have a webpage coming out.
70
tell you
years
about
ago,
that.
our fathers fought for this
So much coming on, going on.
Conceived in liberty.
Blessings to you.
Dedicated to the
Tattoo for
proposition that
Life.
All men are created equal. Listen, something